Morning, everyone. First of all, let me start with being a bit provocative. You know what's something ChatGPT has done, what no other has done today for humanity? ChatGPT has actually hurt our egos. And egos for the humans are very fragile. For the first time ever, someone has challenged our decision making. To an extent, it's hurting us. And I say one more provocative statement: human beings are predictably irrational. And I'm not saying that. Dan Ariely, in his book, Predictably Irrational, said that. And the genesis is, on any given day, we take about 60 odd decisions. Strategic, tactical, operational. What's my plan for the evening? We have a leaders exclusive evening. What's my plan for tomorrow weekend? I want to relax at least with just 3 hours of sleep in the last 1 week. These are some of the decisions we are taking on any given day, right? In our own sphere. Corporates as well. What's the business projections? We go by our intuition, gut, experience. And that's where we start realizing, look, it's not working out. Because algorithms trained, ensemble technique led, really furbished algorithms are taking the place for humans to take decisions. They were aiding it, now they're accelerating it, now they're saying, look, we can take decisions on your behalf. And this is exactly what ChatGPT has done. I'll talk about that, what it means, because so much euphoria, so much hype, so much frenzy, I'm sure we've never seen in last, I would say, 30, 35 years of the tech evolution. Now, just to pull back, we did one event in February 2023, and the first question we were asked as a team, what's your next event? Can you publish your event calendar? And the reaction of me and my team was that we are not an event company. Event is just a byproduct for us. It took us 4.5 months to curate this event. And the very reason was that there are events, conferences, summits, workshops which are happening around global capability centers. They're talking about leadership, they're talking about workplace, they're talking about locations, they're talking about talent. But we realize there is a void. There is a void about GCCs not really talking about what's the new next in AI analytics data, and I use these three nomenclatures in the same continuum in their respective setups. And the bar is getting really high, which is where we went ahead, talked to almost 100 plus thought leaders. We have 700 of them, by the way, from the GCCs larger, and also the consulting company, tech players, pure play analytics, and BPM firms. And we realized, yes, the notch what we are looking in terms of really accelerating the pace of GCCs could be because of AI, analytics, and data coming into the whole sphere of GCCs. And that's where it could be the Trojan horse what one is looking at. Now, let me start something which, again, is an aggregation of a lot of studies we have done working in conjunction with our thought leaders. Because let me tell you, when you're meeting thought leaders in person versus sending them a survey, a questionnaire, there is a very different level of conversation which emanates, and that's exactly what we're trying to capture. Now, I think some of the things which are very, very evolving is something I want to put a focus around. One, there is a strategy continuum. Now, let me give a mix of the crowd in this particular event. It's a sold out 600 delegates, 82 GCCs. Average experience of this particular cohort today is 7 to 8 years, which means we are all looking at those directions, navigations, arrowheads, and also a lot of recommendations what we should be doing in our own spheres. The challenge starts with strategy. Gone are the days of 5, 10 years plan, period. Even AOPs are getting very, very fungible. CEOs have a task not only to look at what they should be doing, but also, given the black swan events we have seen in terms of COVID and other things, it's a very continuous phase. Last 3 years, we have three upheavals upending in the macro, microeconomic scenarios. AI strategy. We've all grown up, most of us, through looking at the management theories. Core competencies, Kanban, Six Sigmas. A lot of those management theories are getting demystified. AI, with the advent of being pervasive, absolutely embedded in the business value chains, is taking the level of strategic thinking, implementation, planning to the next level. 5 years back, when I used to talk about AI strategy, I used to be ridiculed that, look, this will never happen. Today, let me tell you, consulting companies, pure play analytics players, GCCs, enterprises, each one of them are looking to curate or already have their AI strategy in place. Which means, what are the key components of the AI strategies, what companies are looking to create their own North Star, moat, differentiation? It's three-dimensional in my opinion. Reimagining the customer experience. We've never been pampered so much before in terms of personalization, attribution, recommendation, which is coming to us in all directions. Some of you were telling me sidebar that, look, some of the campaigns, what you have as a part of GCC were very personalized. I said, yes, that was intended, not by us, through the algorithms. Second, innovation at scale, at speed. This is what Tesla is doing. Third, which is very, very crucial, transformation of the business cannot happen without AI strategy. Demystification of the value chains across industries, whether it's bank, retail, insurance companies, is absolutely paramount. Which means the bar in terms of creating your AI roadmap and maturity is already up the curve. How do you become naive to trailblazer? And by the way, novice in this particular graph is just about creating your AI strategy. So the notches in terms of how AI needs to be enabled or how an enterprise become AI first or AI powered has really gone up. And if you are not in this game, maybe you're missing something big. Now, for the ones who are very bullish and also are coaxing, nudging some of the analytics leaders, and I'm talking on behalf of the analytics AI leaders community, that they are getting nudged, coaxed, almost compelled to create chat GPT-like feature in their own setup. Let me first tell them that what went into the chat GPT. Many of you are aware, I'm just trying to reiterate, it's a summation of data, infrastructure, algorithms put together. I don't need to talk about the volumes, it's there on the screen. If the companies who have the wherewithal to invest, please go ahead and do that. Because that was trained for a month using not only the NVIDIA A1, but the H1 chips, H100 chips, self-transformed, reinforcement learning, all put together, and the data was 225 billion tokens in terms of the massaging what went in. It's phenomenal. But that doesn't mean organization cannot become AI powered. That doesn't mean they would be a laggard in their journey to be seen as an AI player. There are various options around that as well. Now, fact, what is happening is that, now coming back to the GCCs, which is our main, I would say, fulcrum of the conversations out here, and I'll talk about a brief what this entire event, GCCX, consists of. By the way, many of you ask me question, what is X in the GCC? Any answers? Any more responses? X is the data analytics AI quotient over there. If GCCs have to evolve for the next 5, 10, 15 years, this could be the game-changing dimension what everyone should be looking at. And I think through the conversations along the day, you'll get ample, I would say, substantiation of this, what I'm saying. Now coming back, what we did, 4 months back, we started curating this event. The whole idea was that the event should be crowdsourced from the leaders who we have in 3AI, and the summation of what themes, what kind of broad agendas they would like to include comes in out here, and glad it happened. But what took me by surprise was something else. Now, everyone is aware that, look, the market size of analytics, AI, generative AI, which is now a separate segment, is humongous. It's whopping. This is the only segment today which is growing at a CAGR of 34% and is projected to grow at 34% for the next few years as well, amongst every other exponential technologies. Second, outside of AI analytics segment, which is already established, it's already a kind of, let's say, a zone which everyone is measuring, which is close to about $500 billion pegged in the next few years. A generative AI segment is also coming up. And that's huge. Now, if you take all these things put together, organizations which are still thinking about where they should go, I think it's all in the buckets of data analytics AI. Now, this is where I was stunned. I personally spoke to many of the GCC leaders on the analytics AI data side. And I thought, as a part of what they should be doing is, okay, they're getting POCs from their head offices, parent organizations. They're trying to work on some supply chain analytics, some kind of customer analytics, some kind of fraud risk statements. I was blown away when all these aspects, what I have captured on the screen, started coming in. One, parent organizations are talking to them to up the ante in terms of deciding how they should become an AI-powered enterprise. Organizations are also looking at GCCs to create generative AI experience centers and toolkits, which means there is an investment which is coming up over there. Parent organizations are also working in unison to create a lot of new age innovative products, application services using AI, which is what we go back. And I have seen the side of the GCCs from last 15, 17 years. There used to be a time when I was the country head for Fidelity, we used to send a monthly sheet back to our parent company talking about the cost arbitrage in an Excel format. I used to call it MIS. Used to go every month with a review. And I used to talk about the dollar impact of the cost displacement, or rather the people displacement. Gone are the days. It's important, but the value impact transformation is much more important. The second biggest change, or rather this is the biggest upheaval which has happened in the GCCs, is GCCs are becoming mainstream. The organizations are looking at defining the business strategies in conjunction with the GCCs, which is a big change. Now, this change means the ask, the remit from the leaders will go up dramatically. And we are in a situation, everyone is aware about 1,500 GCCs, everyone is aware about the growth we will anticipate, the export revenue it earns, the whopping kind of, let's say, 2, 3 GCCs we are adding every few, I would say, fortnight or so. But what most of us should realize sitting in this room by end of the day, are we really geared up to understand the real transformation of GCCs with AI? And it's not one GCC per se which can define. GCCs alone, in terms of their leaders and their teams, cannot define. The external ecosystem comes in. Tech players, consulting players, pure play analytics players, startups, academia. I think that's where the next level of how we need to create AI strategies for the organization, not only to kind of create new product services, accentuating the customer experience, but also defining the North Star moat differentiation for the companies. I thought for the host, it doesn't work the stop clock. Oh, okay. I'm getting a cue. Okay, you are not the host because the bills are being paid by someone else, actually, which are our sponsors, actually. But anyway, this is where we say that, look, GCCs are also looking at today various use cases in generative AI. I mean, absolutely, I would say a start which will take the level of GCCs to the next level in terms of efficacy, effectiveness, and absolutely, I would say, a new set of decision making. And more important, as we say that, look, this is a time where in the careers what we are sitting today, if we are not aware about what's the art of possible with analytics, AI, data, whatever terminology you use, I think we are redundant. Just one set of disclaimer. This is not an event where speakers are coming in, speaking, and going. They've all curated the content. They have chosen themes per their liking and also what we believe should not be repetitive. They've also understood what should be going around in keeping the broader agenda of the event, because at the end of the day, the differentiation in terms of the aggregation of knowledge comes in when we are talking about huge set of opportunities in terms of being more prescriptive. And each of the speaker has a takeaway, a succinct, crisp summary along with the panel to provide. More important, as a part of the overall agenda, packed. Spotlight talks, 10 minutes, pacey, TED Talkish, 10 minutes, they come in, give a viewpoint, they go out. RPM session, 15 minutes, a case study getting demystified. They're talking about what exactly they did in terms of impacting the client or internal GCCs. They're panels, very, very curated panels in terms of what each one of these leaders will be talking about. In essence, 43 speakers, 20 plus sessions, 9 hours of overall time. My request to each one of you is ensure that at the end of the day, you are taking what you have not seen, but be also in a mode of implementing, internalizing in the organizations you work for. Thank you so much, and welcome to 3AI GCCX, and thank you so much.